Let's switch our attention to the heavyweight scene.
Yeah.
I'm sure you knew this was coming. Tyson Fury put in a fantastic performance against Deontay Wilder. Yeah, we all enjoyed it. Coming back from the dead, as it's been kind of talked about apocryphal already. But what did you make of his performance, and what would you like to see next as the big heavyweight fight? Is it Joshua Wilder or is it Joshua Fury?
Look, first of all, hats off to Tyson Fury. I thought it was a wonderful performance. Thoroughly enjoyed it. From the moment he came out, singing and dancing to the way he went about his work, I thought he outclassed Deontay Wilder for most of the rounds. I thought it was, people were questioning Ben Davison in the corner. The tactics were great. I thought Fury implemented them fantastic. I thought he stood his ground a little bit when he needed to. I thought Deontay just couldn't really get started. I thought it was a poor performance at times from Wilder. I did score it, and I had it to Fury by 3 at the end, which may be wider than some people, but I thought it was a pretty comfortable win for Fury. Yes, you take the two rounds with the knockdowns, the 10-8 rounds, and I can see why it's closer on some cards. I cannot understand the 4 to Wilder, as most people can't. I had Fury winning the fight. I thought he bossed most of it. While there was 1 or 2 close rounds, I gave Wilder one of the early rounds. I think I gave one even, but there's times where the jab was okay from Wilder, and he was just loading up with the shots. I just thought Fury controlled it. But then in the 9th round when he went down, I thought, I always thought beforehand, I thought Fury could win this fight, but Wilder just needs one shot. And obviously, as we saw in the 12th round, it was that one shot. And the miracle happened. He somehow got up. No one thought it. I mean, at 3-4, he was gone, and how he got to his feet. That's testament to Ben and his work and what they've been through in the last sort of 6-9 months. And, I was surprised. I didn't know if Tyson Fury had that performance in him. Not that he couldn't do it, but with the timeout and with a couple of warm-up fights, was it too soon? I was really impressed. But not only was I impressed with his performance, but I was impressed with what happened afterwards, Danny. The professionalism he showed. He didn't cry robbery straight away in the ring. He thanked America. He thanked Deontay for the opportunity. I think it was a brilliant display from Tyson Fury, and he's right there now. Yes, he got the draw. He didn't get the decision I think he should have done. But you know what? Of course he did. And what it does is it means there's 3 massive heavyweights now. Anthony Joshua obviously has most of the belts. He has the ability to sell out the 80,000-90,000. We know that. And he, people are saying, oh, he hasn't fought anybody. He's not fighting Fury and Wilder. Let's not be ridiculous here. He's fought Klitschko. He's fought Joe Parker, who was unbeaten. He's fought Povetkin, his mandatory last time out.
He's already fought Dillian Whyte, who's now.
He's fought Dillian Whyte. Whyte fights Chisora in a great fight, December 22nd. We can't wait for that rematch. And then if Whyte comes through that and they rematch at Wembley, that's absolutely fine. Ultimately, the world's going to be craving the Fury-Wilder rematch, and that's the most logical fight to happen. But, it's up to Eddie to try and prize open the Wilder fight, or maybe even the Fury fight for the spring. There's a date, April the 13th at Wembley. I'd love it to be AJ Wilder or AJ Fury. Of course I would. But, it's boxing politics. You've got to find your way through. And it's up to, look, what does Wilder want to do? Will he want to go back with Fury? Or does he fancy the unification? What about Fury? That's now the biggest fight, isn't it? AJ and Fury at Wembley. So
it so for Sky? Is that a bigger fight? Because one's for all the belts, the other one's a domestic super fight. So which one's bigger for Sky, do you think?
Or is it rock, paper, scissors? Anyone could fight anyone and any result could happen. I mean, look, Anthony Joshua for me has proved everything so far, right? He's beaten everybody put in front of him, most by knockout. He's found a way to get up off the floor and deal with Vladimir Klitschko. Tyson Fury has beaten Klitschko over in Germany, right? He's been out for ages. He's been written off. He's come back and he's given one great performance. But he was nearly counted out in the 12th round. I mean, it was very close. So if Wilder had won in the 12th round, would people have been saying, what they were saying? Oh, Wilder's brilliant because he finds a way. Boxing's very fickle and it's very unpredictable and it ebbs and flows. What we have now is we've got 3 great heavyweights at that level. Maybe Dillian can get on there. Maybe some of the others can come through. The Dubois, the Joyces, the Jerome Millers. Who knows? Usyk obviously coming to the division. Michael Hunter, many others. But at the moment, you've got 3 names. That's what we want to see. We want to see Wilder, Fury, Joshua all fight each other and clear it all up. As we know, it's harder to actually make that happen. And not necessarily it happens next or the one after, but we've got to think in the next 2 or 3 years, they will all fight each other and you will find out who is the best. And is the best Anthony Joshua? Like, we're behind Anthony Joshua at Sky. Eddie Hearn's behind Anthony Joshua. DAZN are behind Anthony Joshua. You know that. You've got Shelley Finkel and Al Heyman and the Showtime lot behind Deontay Wilder. You've got BT and Frank Warren behind Tyson Fury. And as a fight fan, I loved watching Fury and Wilder at the weekend. I absolutely loved it. And it was, both of them showed, Wilder showed on a poor night the fact he could pull out punches from and keep hold of his title, even be it controversially. Fury, it was a wonderful night. And it was a night where he's come back from such a low place. When he was out with us in Monaco and 20-something stone, and to see what he's done has been incredible. I have nothing but huge respect for Tyson Fury. I just want to see them all fight each other. And for us, obviously, Anthony Joshua against one of them in April would be amazing. But if there is a rematch between Fury and Wilder, then Joshua fights another, and we wait a little bit longer for the bigger fights for Joshua. But for me, Anthony Joshua is still the man selling 90,000 out. We want to get him in with Wilder or Fury.
If it was AJ Fury for the next fight or later on in the year, is there any option whatsoever of a pay-per-view being used on both broadcasters?
I don't know the answer to that. We work for Sky. Sky Box Office is the platform we want everything on. Obviously, BT had the Fury Wilder fight, so that will go into the negotiations. But of course, you've got DAZN and Showtime issues with Wilder. There's all sorts of things, but fundamentally, I don't think so. I mean, for us, it's got to be on Sky Box Office. But who knows? Who knows what will happen? It will come down to money. It will come down to the will of the fighters and whether we can actually get anything like this over the line. But for me, it's got to be Sky Box Office because that's our business, and we've got a long history of producing and making these massive nights happen. And look, BT Sports Box Office, well done to them. They had a big fight. They've got another big fight coming up on December the 22nd. Unfortunately, it goes head to head with us. That's just with the venues. That's what happened. We've got the heavyweights. They've got a great fight with Frampton and Warrington, and it's a shame that it clashes. But there's more and more people entering the box office pay-per-view market. ITV as well out there. There's a lot. And we concentrate on what we do, which is we try and make Sky Sports Box Office the place to be, the best nights. And I think we've got a massive track record of doing that. AJ Povetkin, recently Tony Bellew and Alexander Usyk. Now we've got White Chisora coming up December 22nd. Fight after fight, they're big nights, they're big promotions. You get all the build-up, Sky Sports News, SkySports.com, the whole works, shows, everything. Then the big sort of glitzy nights. We hope that we do it better than anyone else. We embrace competition. As I said, we all stood back and we looked at Fury Wilder and we applaud them for that. It was a great night, a great fight, and let's not hide behind it. It was brilliant, and Tyson Fury has announced himself on the scene. Is he better than Anthony Joshua? Some people would say yes, some people would say definitively no. We don't know until they get in the ring. Do I think AJ Fury will probably be the biggest British fight of all time? Yes. I think if they remain unbeaten, I think, AJ Wilder for all the belts could break records as well. But I think at the moment with the momentum that Fury's got, if AJ and Fury fought, for example, at Wembley in the spring or in the summer, I think that would be the biggest fight bar none. But does he have to get the belt to bring that to the table as well? The draw makes it different, because if Wilder had won, then it's the unified fight. If Fury had won, then there's the definitive rematch. But because of the draw, you tell me what's going to happen, Danny, because I don't know.
Well, if you don't know, I'm sure I don't know. But I'll let you get back to the top table because we've got to concentrate on this Saturday first. But really appreciate your time.
It's great times.
As always.
It's great times though for boxing, isn't it? I mean, what it did was it brought heavyweight boxing's come right back. With Anthony Joshua beating Vladimir Klitschko on that wonderful night in April of last year, and what he's gone on to do, Joshua. And don't forget how few fights he's had. He's been wonderful for the casual audience who are engaged. Everybody loves AJ in that. But no, Fury is the new hero, and for many people, Fury is the one. Deontay Wilder still the brash American who's, let's not forget, he's unbeaten. And, he's knocked everyone out pretty much and almost knocked Fury out. So it's great to have the three of them at this time. Bring the others in, the Dubois, the Joyces, the Whites, the Chisoras, the Jarrell Millers, all of them. Usyk coming up. It's a great time. When the heavyweight division is flying, boxing is flying. So whatever happens, big fights are on the horizon again. And let's enjoy what we've seen so far and wait for Kell Brook Saturday night. We've got Canelo and Rocky next week in New York. And then White and Chisora, what a Christmas present. The heavyweights going at it again. The last one was fantastic. This can't help being, round 13, here we go. Chisore's got nothing to lose. He's going to be in phenomenal shape under David Haye, Ruben Tabarez and Don Charles. Let's bring that on. Let's all have a good Christmas, and let's see what 2019 should bring. And top of my Christmas wish list at the moment is not a heavyweight fight. It's Khan Brook. So, Danny, if you can make it come true, talk to Santa and get Khan Brook over the line.
I'll text Amir in a minute. We'll see how it goes.